So the first part in the build is to pull this out of your RS kit. This is your flight control tray. You also mount your PDB down to this if you're using a PDB. So I'm using one of these ones from Lumineer. These are great. I really enjoy these. So what we're going to do, first off, I'm going to take some of this stuff. This is called blade tape. Really nice product. They use this in the full-size aircraft industry. Just going to put some of this down and insulate the PDB from that. That's just precautionary. I mean, this does have this insulation, this insulative protective layer below, but it's purely just as a precaution. So I'm going to put that down, secure the board onto the tray itself. Then we're going to start preparing our ESCs. I'm using little B 20 amps for this build. Then we're also going to connect up the XT60 power cable. Okay, line it up with that edge and that edge. Push that down. Okay, get the other one. I think this is 0,3. You can buy blade tape from a number of different places, but if you guys are battling, just let me know and I'll send you guys some links for this stuff. Okay, so there you can see blade tape on there, blade tape on there, and it's all trimmed out. Just going through this board quickly. It's obviously symmetrical there and there. If you flip it over, you have a look here, you've got these recesses cut into the side there and in the side as well. So those recesses, obviously, so that your button cap is flush and doesn't damage your battery. These ones here are so when you put your PDB down here, you are routing wires in from your ESCs and all over the place. You can actually secure them down with zip ties here, and the zip ties won't actually rub through or damage your battery. That also to just add some relief to all the wires so that you never tug or pull on them. It also makes the build a lot neater and secure. Okay, so putting that down like that. So that's obviously going to the back for power. We're going to solder that power lead on now. Flip this board over. Put those in. Just I put the pillars down before I start routing the wires, purely because you're going to have to get around those pillars later on, so you might as well just plan it out now and make sure that you get around all of that from the beginning. Okay, one last thing, just make sure that this is tightened up there, flat against the parallel to the edge of the board there. Okay, so that's the first part done. Turn all the pads on the PDB. Okay, so nice there. Okay. Okay. Cool, so that PDB is tinned. Now we can get that onto our board. So we can solder this guy on there, get it ready to go. So once again, 425 degrees, get a little bit of solder on the tip of the soldering iron just to conduct the heat in, and done. Same thing there. Yeah, just readjust that, that's not exactly straight. There we go. And that now is our power cable onto our board. Okay, so what we're going to do now is connect up the end of our ESC onto our PDB itself. So this is going onto the, let's just orientate the board like that. So this is obviously the back of our board. We're going to have to solder up this ESC over here. This is going to the back left arm. So what I want to do is I want to just put a bend in it like that before we actually solder that down, so we aren't actually straining the wire or anything once we've got the solder done. So you can see that's why I like this paracord so much. You can put the bend in it and it stays like that. So we can put that bend in, just move our paracord sheath back a little bit just to expose the wires and get the signal wire out the way. Then we can have a look here. Okay, obviously we just need to trim some off of that positive wire, maybe take off like 5 mils or so, just so that we can get the wire to terminate on the pad correctly. So go ahead there, just trim back some of that, trim back some of that insulation like so. Okay, just get that board out the way. Just going to tin those wires before we connect them onto the pads. So once again, just clean the tip of the soldering iron and just tin those wires. Just tin both of them actually. Okay, once that's done, get our board back into place. Just going to rotate that just so that I can get a clear shot with the soldering iron there. Get the signal wire out the way again. Get those two placed like that. You can see what I'm obviously trying to do here is just route these wires past the post, hold those down and make sure that the pads are lined up with the wires. So hold those down, that little twist in it, there you go, and those are ready to solder. Clean the tip on our soldering iron, add a little bit more solder to it. Just come along, melt that down, next one, melt that down, and got 2 nice solder joints there. Once that's done, now we can go ahead, get this paracord sheath back into place like that. So what I do is I usually just push this paracord sheath all the way up to the edge of the board there, and then I put the zip tie around it there just to hold this in place and offer up some relief so that there's absolutely no flex or strain on the contact of our boards there. So that's that done.